Okay dudes, welcome to Boost Kingdom. Here we're going to talk about some useful tips and tricks about Destiny 2. Alright, enough words, get to the topic. My favorite, Titan build. This is a really fun build. The main thing here is it's a super recharge. What you need to do is this. You need Doomfang pauldrons and enemies around you. You're a surrounder, put your hands up. Everybody hands go up! Or not. We're going to shoulder charge the enemy first and oops! Enemy is gone. Next, we're going to throw a nade. Second enemy is dead. Now melee energy down and BAM! Back to full health again. What do we do next? Of course, we're gonna shoulder charge again. Half our super down there with 3 enemies killed. Now you're using Doomfang pauldrons and it can basically last forever and ever and ever and ever and never end as long as there are enemies to kill. There's only 3 enemies around, you can gain half your super instantly. So this is a life hack of Sentinel. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Bye-bye. Please don't forget to subscribe.
Boost Kingdom.
I'm joking. What do we do next? With this build in your primary really doesn't matter whatever you use. I'm sure there's something specific that you could spec out just to make the build even better, and that's completely up to you and your playstyle. You can run Mountaintop if you want to run with Ruinous Effigy, because you're not using a lot of the special ammo with Ruinous Effigy. So you can easily run Mountaintop if you wanted to. Also, in your Heavy, you spec out the way you want to as well. But my favorite is Falling Guillotine, because I personally use it in Gambit a lot. I use it in Strikes a lot. It's one of the most powerful weapons in the game. If my mood is Rainbow, I have a Lucent Blade over there, so when I become charged with it, I'm doing that 30 or 35% increase in damage for 5 seconds with Lucent Blade. And I'm also getting my charge rate back very quickly because I have another arc mod slotted in there. You can run up whatever you want in your primary and in your heavy, but you need Ruinous Effigy for this build. Ruinous Effigy, don't forget. Let's look closer. First, let's go over how you get your melee back super fast. That way you can kill 3 enemies, having your melee up twice, and get half your super just with only 3 enemies around. Shield Blast with this Doomfang pauldrons, it sounds tasty. Also, we have Horns of Doom as the intrinsic perk here. Void melee kills give super energy. So that shield bash, when we do it, gives us super energy. That's what gives us the chunk of super energy. So, we're using a few mods for this and for that. We're using Become Charged with Light, so we're using Taking Charge. So every time we pick up an orb, we become charged with light. You want to become charged with light, and you want to have stacks on stacks, or a different mod that allows you to gain an extra charge with light every time you pick up an orb. That way you get to have 2 stacks of charge with light. We're running up stacks on stacks on stacks here. And get an extra stack of charge with light for every stack you gain. If you don't have these mods, go to the Gunsmith or to the Prismatic Recaster. That rotates mods as well. Let's return. We charged with light by taking charge. We have stacks on stacks. So then we're charged 2 times, and then the main perk here is Heavy-Handed. While charged with light, which we're charged, we regain half of your melee energy when you used a charged melee ability. And this consumes 1 stack of charged and light. And we have 2 stacks of charged with light. We then shoulder charge into our enemy. We get a chunk of our super. We get half of our melee instantly back because we're charged with light. So we instantly get half our melee back. Then we throw nades. And we're using Enhanced Momentum Transfer and Momentum Transfer on our Doomfang pauldrons. And this is causing damage with the nade and reduces melee cooldown. So that's the second chunk of melee cooldown, and then you just have to wait like 2 or 3 seconds and you have your melee again for the second time that fast. Step by step, for dummies, shoulder charge the enemy first, throw nade out of the second mob, shoulder charge the next mob, that's half your energy. Repeat it. Kudos dudes, you still there? All you need is Ruinous Effigy, don't forget. And the intrinsic perk here is Evolution Transmutation Spheres you create can be picked up. We picked up an orb, then we go ahead and block. As you can see, you block here, so we go ahead and block. And every time you're blocking and enemies are in there, you're also being healed. And then we don't stop and we're basically being immortal. Kill enemies and you're combining that with Bottom Tree Sentinel. Kills while surrounded by mobs reduce your cooldown of your super. And then last but not least is when you have your super and you use it and can last indefinitely, as long as there's enough enemies around. And now it's time for Doomfang pauldrons. When Sentinel Shield is active, melee kills recharge shield throw, which extend your super on hits. Every time you get melee kill, you instantly get your shield back. When you throw shield, you extend its super. When you extend your super, we use Doomfang Pauldrons. Second shield perk gaining shield throw charge. And we can repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. It's a Sparta! This was one of my fastest videos. My dear dudes, new expansion is coming soon. Don't waste your time. If and only if you enjoyed the video, then feel free to subscribe, and we'll give you a lot of awesome guides and helpful tips about our favorite Destiny 2. See you, Guardians, in the next video on Boost Kingdom.
Boost Kingdom.